My name is Father David Sanji, president of St. Luke Institute. And today, because I'm traveling outside of the country, I decided to do this message from my computer. So I ask you to forgive me for the poor sound or video quality. But someone had asked me recently to speak about grief. And I wanted to make sure I could respond to that request because grief is something that all of us experience at different moments in life. And we know of many people we would like to help with their grief, and we're not exactly sure what to say. You can find many ideas in books, articles on the internet about grief. You can read about stages of grief. Many people will say that grief should take a long time or a short time, and they'll argue about this. But I wanted to approach this from the perspective of the church. St. John Paul II wrote a document called Salvifici Doloris, which speaks about salvation being experienced through suffering, through the passion of Christ. In it, he speaks about many forms of suffering, but I like this one moment in which he touches on the suffering servant. And if you read this beautiful reading in the scriptures of the suffering servant in the prophet Isaiah, you hear about this suffering servant not only carrying the suffering of others, but that he bears the grief of others. If you would like to help someone else to deal with their grief, it's important to look at the purpose of their grief. It brings them to see the value of life. And in seeing this, and we need to turn to God, because He is the only true source of life. He is the only one that can comfort us in our grieving. Some people resist this because they don't want to face that very important aspect of the grieving process, which is in their powerlessness to turn to God. So it's my prayer for you this week that if you know anyone who needs help with grief, that you tell them that Jesus Christ came and bears our grief, and His only desire is that we share this experience with Him. Have a blessed day.